Let's get things started. Gundam fight all set. Ready? Go!
Well, folks, it's Monday. Monday's come and gone, and the weekend's passed. It's time to delve into a new week, and let's talk some robots because I'm here to bring that delight to the start of the week and tell you all about some big fun, big bot stuff. Hello, everyone, and welcome, of course, to the Mechpit chat. I am Ironcaster here to talk about all that crazy fun stuff and everything in between. Happy Labor Day, by the way, folks. I hope you had a good one. Maybe you got out and grilled. Maybe had a burger. Just saying. Hey, it's Monday. As always, we have David going to the chat. Hello, sir. Thank you for showing up as always. And of course, the awesome one is here who says the pits. Are we talking the Fallout DLC? Because I don't think I've played that one. Then again, it's been like 15 years, so yeah. Of course, it's always fun to have a little discussion with friends and kind of get into the swing of things. So let me go ahead and invite on a couple of these people in the back who have been so kind to take time out of their day to join me. So let me bring on the first of them is one of the tabletop, the kings of the tabletop, so to speak. So let me give him a good proper welcome.
I think I deserve that. King, I would say more like court jester.
Well, we'll just make sure to hide behind the pile of dead bards. Either way.
Thank you very much. Is that a reference to my singing?
Well, the movie, but yeah, we'll go with that. Folks, this is the OG GM. He has been here. He has been here before with us, and he was so great, kind enough to join us again to talk about a little bit of Kamen Rider Gavv today.
Yeah, Kamen Rider Snacks premiered yesterday.
But before we do get into that, I do have one more person to bring in from the back. So let me go ahead and bring him in, and we'll be brief.
Hey,
He gets a slap.
Yeah,
I get a song.
Yeah, just making sure you're awake. How's it going, Anime Night?
good. I just finished Kamen Rider the episode 1.
Ooh, good. You did your homework.
I chuckled, I laughed stupendously hard, but in a good way because I actually enjoyed it.
Okay. So real quick, let me just kind of hit up my little bit of news I've collected from the week, and then we will jump over to that. So first and foremost, let me go ahead and bring up a little bit of news for you folks because there's always some stuff going on during the week, and we're gonna get into the swing of things. So, guys, tell me, you guys play much video games with big robots?
Not as many as I should.
Ironcaster, you saw what I was playing last night, so
I did.
You know the answer. You already know my answer. So,
so of course, this week we got Gundam Breaker 4, which I've sunk about a good 10 hours in over the weekend, and I've been having plenty of fun with it.
I sunk in 3 hours, but that's gonna go exponentially higher.
But the only thing is there might be a little bit of distraction for you there because we have some news on a couple of classic Transformers games that might be making their way over to the Xbox Game Pass.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
What do we got today? Xbox.
The Activision Transformers games have been finally showing up on the Xbox Store. Will be put into the Xbox Game Pass soon. Yesterday at PAX West 2024, the XP3 spoke about the addition to Transformers. This project has been rewarding. This is for the gamers, and I don't know if you guys have happened to have played any of these, but I assure you that a lot of these were pretty fun, especially the Cybertron trilogy.
No, I never got a chance to play them. I mean, I watched the movies, and the cartoons on Netflix, but
I vaguely remember playing Transformers Cybertron. I remember that one.
So they were effectively a trilogy of games that were basically part of that kind of mid-2000s sort of reset of when they were trying to kind of come up with the more they were trying to realign the continuity and sort of the Bible for the franchise.
Mhm.
And these games were something that came out as a product of that. And I tell you, these were pretty fun because you would have an Autobot campaign and a Decepticon campaign, and also the multiplayer is pretty good too. But of course, I think the one most people are excited for is this one right here, Transformers Devastation, which absolutely fantastic, cell shaded game where you're Optimus Prime running around beating the snot out of Devastator and all these Transformers, all the iconic bots you remember from your childhood.
Well, that's as it should be. Optimus beating people up,
as it should be. And of course, you have all the classic voice actors coming back that are still alive and are able to reprise their roles.
Oh, that's nice.
Yep. So if you've got Game Pass, be on the lookout for this, guys. This is something you should absolutely take the time and enjoy because these were bangers of games. Next, of course, a little bit of a story that kind of came out that might be getting some interest, but this has been a bit of a fun one for me. I was a big fan of the Gundam the Origin trilogy, and there was a little bit of news came out that was saying that the 6-episode series is getting re-edited into a 3-movie series.
Oh, this is wonderful news because the Gundam Origin series, it's a long one, but the fact they're breaking it down into like 3 films makes it so much easier.
Probably, yeah.
Well, mind you, it is only 6 episodes, so it's not too terribly long. But it's still basically an attempt to re-release this, and it's a pretty good place to go, especially if you want to get into the 1-year war and see a little bit of that side of things.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. I'm actually excited for this because Origin gets massively overlooked. But granted, there's a lot of Gundam series, but that one I hear a little bit being talked about, and because everybody else talks about like G Gundam and then everything else.
Well, it's also part of we're sort of in an anniversary year for G Gundam, so that one's getting a lot of love right now. The fact that we're getting a new movie we're getting some sort of new entry into that universe, and
may as well, because with Gundam Breaker 4 out now's the time. Now's the time to capitalize off of that with more new entries into the universes, because, and you are right, it is the anniversary. It's good. The anniversary of G Gundam's coming right up. So, and what a way to kick it off.
Actually, I believe G Gundam was 94, so that one I think is this year.
Yeah, 94. I didn't watch it until much later. I didn't watch it until I was like a little bit more older. I was still a wee lad at the time, like a baby at the time.
Well, yeah, when it eventually did come over, which that was a good one. Yeah, and then of course after that we would eventually get Wing, but that's for good and ill. That's the iconic series that most people think of in America when they think Gundam.
Yes. And also, we did have that, and August 1st was that anniversary of that film that I did that wonderful tribute for Gundam Wing Endless Waltz. So,
okay,
right on time. And that video was probably my best one, despite the fact that gifts are a lot easier to work with, but they're harder to find though. Like some of them I had a hard time finding, but the ones I did find though actually coincided with the film. So thank God I didn't get hit with the copyright, so I didn't get.
That's always important.
Yep. I I'm looking at these at my little stories here. I really should have ordered these a bit more, organized these a bit more, because I'm kind of back on the Transformers stuff. Because there was a little news story that came out that, well, I don't know what it necessarily says about the comic industry, but it does show that Transformers is doing incredibly well, and as it stands, Transformers for the month of June outsold Batman.
Wow.
Outsold every DC book.
Wow.
Well, given what DC has been doing to Batman, I say this is justified because what they are doing with Batman, and it's not in a good way. So I say
did they kill him again?
I say this is a certified win for Transformers. And yes, you're right. Given with what's happening in the comic industry, I say there's still some comics like this one that still have a leg to stand on in that industry. It's just a matter of looking into it, because not all comics are bad. Not all of them are bad. It's just the mainline ones that you see that are getting the crap kicked out of them.
Which
Transformers is one of the ones people should pay more attention on.
Yeah, well, I mean, just the whole Energon universe in general is well worth your time. Because Skybound came in and got the licenses for G.I. Joe and Transformers, and I tell you, having been picking it up for a year now, most of the stuff's been good. The only kind of misses were, the only miss so far was the Scarlet series for G.I. Joe, which is kind of unfortunate because that should be the book you should be using to introduce ninja stuff.
Yeah,
and they kind of made this ninja stuff a little dull. It's like, no, we're gonna kind of make it about how her and her roommate had like a secret language they were working on, and I'm like, this book has ninjas in it. Why am I not caring about a book with ninjas in it?
Right. You could write in kanji and people would still understand it.
No, they had to be extra special and go ahead and invent their own new language, and they're gonna leave little secret messages to each other when her roommate doesn't quite realize she's being followed by Scarlet. What?
What? That's confusing. That's confusing.
Yeah, it's not the best. I do like Destro, and this winter we're getting the proper G.I. Joe title, which I am so looking forward to. It's gonna have Baroness on the Joe team, which I don't think anyone would have had on their bingo sheet.
No, because Baroness is completely overlooked. And the fact that Baroness is getting the chance to shine now that it's perfect timing too, because with that you're with Baroness coming back and getting the front spotlight, it's important to go off with a bang and make the first impression count. Now they could screw this up. That's the problem though. They can screw this up, but we'll see. We'll see come December.
Well, sort of, but to kind of get back to the Batman side of it, it doesn't help that that DC and to their own side of things, Marvel have just been kind of turning people off, because I tell you, like, I still go to the comic shop and I am buying books, but I'm not buying Marvel and I'm not buying DC. I'm buying what's the top of my stack here? Godzilla and Power Rangers.
Hey, I would pay good money to watch that.
Let me blow this up for you.
Yeah,
for you, OG.
Yo, that is actually a great idea. Why are we not funding this? Why are we not funding this, Ironcaster?
I don't know, Ironcaster. Why is that? Because the people who own Power Rangers think it can't make them any money? Is that going to be it?
Yeah. Don't you feel so happy about the fate of Power Rangers?
Yeah, rub salt in my wound. Rub salt in the wound.
Or although, as you know, I have bought one Marvel book.
Ultraman. Oh well, then okay.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. I'm even willing to buy, even if like half the characters on the cover are ones I don't particularly care about, like Sam Wilson Cap, Captain Marvel, and the Miles Morales. It's like literally
Exactly.
half the characters on the cover. It's like, but they do like one Ultraman series a year, and that seems to be enough. Oh, there we go. Anyway, yeah, that's just kind of a little short list from stuff I've got here I haven't had a chance to get to, but it just shows you kind of the state of the comic book industry. If, albeit a good book like Transformers, is outselling what should be one of the number one books should be one of the top 5 books, period. But no, Batman, the top DC, the only DC book, but the top DC book is down at number 8, above above 6 other Marvel books.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the stake. That's the stake of the comic industry, and enjoy it while it lasts.
Well, I mean, they can get every small victory they can. So I'm actually happy to see some good news from the comic industry. Albeit be something else outside of DC. But you are right, though. DC is getting its teeth kicked in. Marvel is slightly, I want to say, a bit better than DC on the level, though. They're like that far apart. But however, though, DC's gotta be seething that their precious Batman comic is getting its head kicked in by Optimus Prime.
I mean, really, I think the only real saving grace they might have with DC right now is if James Gunn can make that Superman movie work. Because if they can get we'll have to see how that does. But if they can get a really good Superman book out,
we'll see.
If they get a really good Superman book out, they might have a shot to kind of get a new little bit of adrenaline back into their dwindling comic side. But the thing is, you got the leadership there seems to not even think about the comic books. Like Zaslav seems to like it's too far beneath his notice to even really care about it. But that's comics, and that's our little bit of. And that's the way those go. So, folks, we've kind of waffled on about enough. That was our news for the week. Let's get into our main subject because you guys had some homework or little leisurely, pleasurable watch because we watched Kamen Rider Gavv.
Kamen Rider Gavv.
So. Just kind of do a little bit of a quick run around here. Just kind of how familiar are each of you with Kamen Rider? No, OG GM. I know you're certainly not a new guy to this. So I just want to establish a little bit because we kind of have a variety of people coming into it fresh. So for example, I've been watching for about the last 3 or 4 years now. Revice was the currently airing Kamen Rider when I started watching. So in the last about 3 years, I've jumped in head first, and I've been having a blast with it.
Cool. I don't know when I first started, who it was. Probably Kamen Rider W.
Oh, good one.
Might have been one of the first that I started watching regularly, and then X8, and I've kind of jumped all around the timeline.
I've done the same.
So many of them are available to watch on stream now or whatever that I can just jump around them. But the current run, the whatever this one's called, the era hasn't really impressed me. Like 01 was great. Saber was we know you like Kamen Rider Fortnite.
Yeah.
Which had great moments. Gotcha, I never got into the last one. It's just Kamen Rider Pokemon. But Kamen Rider Snack was interesting. It was an interesting start. It was not what I expected. So I like that they're experimenting. People are gonna go candy. That's a bizarre theme, but then I'm like, yeah, but they've done soda, they've done fruit, they've done toys. they've done all sorts of candy is not that weird for them. They've done weirder. And the fact that that they eat people and then that he kills and eats the gummies is kind of like different. It's like, whoa, this is kind of dark. He gets his powers by eating them.
Real quick, what about you? Was this your first Kamen Rider series?
It has been after a while. Since the ones you mentioned, I did watch those. I too have been hopping around, but I've been trying to get back into it because now that it's available at any time, I can go back, watch, and catch up on the ones that I did miss. But this one here, though, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, I do, as our friend mentioned, they did fruit and all kinds, so it doesn't surprise you, but it is actually pretty hilarious how they have like a life of their own and they do very comical things with it. So I welcome it with open arms.
Yeah, this is what I was a little indifferent on for myself because you see the candy theming to it all, and you're like, okay, where's this gonna go? Is this gonna be more kid? Is this gonna be kind of more oriented right at the kids? And while it kind of does, but there's still just those little tinges of that kind of darkness within it. Like,
yeah, he's a monster. He says so.
Yeah, he's a monster, and they eat the people. So you're like, okay, this is gonna be an interesting little start. And just to kind of pull a couple of examples of, I did like seeing almost immediately just he saves the kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like they gave him that Superman moment of like stopping the truck to save a kid.
Even without the belt, he's powerful.
Yeah.
Interesting. I can't figure out if the belt's like part of his body.
That's what threw me
and
off.
where the gummies came from, but I assume they'll explain that going forward.
I mean, they sort of implied, and they were saying it's outright like it's a second stomach, or it's like a second mouth. So it's like, I guess because he's not human, it can be like that. Here we go, and just I have my race have mouths on their stomachs as well, and. Well, real quick, let me see if this guy has a mouth on his stomach. Punkwaddle, do you have a mouth in your stomach?
Not only do I have a mouth, but look at this avatar. My eyes are way bigger than my stomach.
I like seeing the build belt again, and actually for this run, it makes sense since he's using it to eat them. I think it works much better than it did with build.
The whole they had that whole injection molding thing with the
molding thing,
Which
I can never get into that, but this works because he's eating them.
Nom nom nom.
Nom nom nom. I mean, there's stuff I like because they're definitely trying something new. I think this is the first time we've ever seen where the armor and the costume can be damaged and parts fall off, and then he has eat more of the candy to get the parts to come back on. That might be a first.
Yeah, no, I did like that aspect to it where like as you said, as they're being as he's fighting and parts of the armor are being damaged as they fight, he can just eat one of his little candy minions and he can regenerate the armor. But my only wonder and concern, I guess, is that something they're willing to stick to for the entire season? Because that might be something they don't want to have to go through the effort of working into the script, or they'll probably might just drop it. And it was just it's a neat concept that was in the start of the episode, the start of the series, that they just kind of quickly forgot about, kind of like the kid's dad in Gotchard.
We'll see. I hope so because it's different.
I hope they stick with it, because I will agree it is a very interesting concept, and it does have a life. It can take life of its own, and the armor regeneration and all that, I thought that was really sweet. It's something different that they are experimenting with, and I actually enjoyed that concept, and I hope that they stick with it and also improve on it as well, and figure out like a weak point at least. Like keep it consistent, but also don't reinvent it, but tweak it to where it tells it's one cohesive thing. Because they already introduced the fact that he can regenerate the armor. They introduced that to us because he does need the candy minions for that one.
Mhm.
Well, let's be clear. There is of course one person who that he needs to fear, and that is of course our favorite dental themed superhero, Dent Man.
Oh yeah, yeah, man.
That man.
So, having not watched this, I'm just going to toss this out as a speculation. Have they ruled out the possibility of, say, his armor gets damaged and he doesn't have that snack anymore, but has another snack, kind of like your favorite version? Like, if he eats another candy, will it regenerate with a different armor, possibly, or
Kind of like
modify?
foes with the parts.
Yeah, or like Ironcaster's favorite one where he does a little spin move and he adds a different thing. Like, could they add that lore to it, or do you think that's something they won't play with, or maybe like an end
No, I
game
think
idea?
they would. We know he's got at least two power ups coming up already. He's
Yep,
got the plum and the marshmallow.
Ooh,
Here, let me bring this up just to show that. We know, for example, next week we're getting the potato chip power up.
Is it potato chips?
And you see, he's already got a bunch of the little ones. Like he's got cookies and Senbi.
Oh, I thought they were adorable, just like all together and everything. And
they're I mean, it's the commies again, or the toys from Phase, but these are actually work. Or the cars from Drive, they have their own life. I wouldn't be surprised if we see like a mini episode with just them.
I mean, you could just do a little animated, kind of do like what they do with Minions, and they have a little adventure of them like going around like having little adventures, because it's whenever he eats like human snacks, human food, he poops out a bunch of these little monsters.
Yep.
The animations they did with the snacks was really cool, and I'm glad they gave them like what they made it humorous, but also show how serious they are.
Yeah, there's a very Saturday morning cartoon feel to it, but it is, you take a second, you go, this is dark. He's eating them. They're literally giving their life for him.
Like
he had a little angel.
I busted out laughing seeing that one, or the one in the little go kart,
Yeah, that he all builds up and then nothing happens.
He's crying and everything. He's crying because he couldn't do nothing. He thought he had the best thing, and then he crashes, and then he's on the freaking ground just crying his eyes out. I thought that was funny.
That was very clever.
Speaking of clever, what did you guys think? There was a good little bit of choreography where they were using all these take the
goofiness aside, this fight scene's amazing.
Like I got to tell you, like as far as first episodes go, there was some good cinematography with the use of the shipping crates.
Oh yeah.
It's
and him hanging upside down and still being able to do the stunt work. That was A+ for whoever is doing the wire work on that one.
Yeah, I thought so too. And of course, we also got during it just them put like sometimes like even like the same little snack will have different power ups. Like that's where he gets his big giant boot to stomp some feet. And
yeah, his rider kick, I'm still not sold on.
Yeah, it's
his finisher.
Yeah, and also just to show it, we did get a preview in there for, for the potato chip form, and it's gonna be our primary like sword guy.
I like that's like the samurai armor with the embellished shield armor plating. You mean
Happy crunchy chips.
what you're saying is you can't just have one, and was it the Pringle can is too much?
Yep. And not that we saw too much of him in this. Well, actually, a couple of little things to show off as well. We got our second, although he hasn't been revealed yet. This guy, we got this guy who's this journalist who's going to wind up being our second writer.
Our backup writer.
Okay.
Yeah. Come Writer Chocolate.
Yeah.
Give Me Chocolate by
Baby Metal.
This theme song.
Oh yes.
Yeah, that
It's gotta be at least if they do not manage to find a way to fit that in at least once.
And also, like, I think it's kind of neat the way they decided to do up some of the props. Where they just did those little plastic standees with the little picture pressed between it.
Mm-hmm.
All the cardboard cutouts.
Yeah, and they turned it to something horrifying.
Yeah, because you see that
effective.
You see those displays in a lot of the anime figures and art and stuff, so it kind of goes hand in hand in something that would be readily available for them to make.
Exactly. Yeah, they're all the rage these days.
Yeah, I mean it's a really clever way to use that and utilize that technology.
They're the acrylic figure stands. I've
Yep.
seen a bunch. I saw a bunch of those at one booth at Comic-Con.
So were they selling those I'm sure they will sell those acrylic Kamen Rider stands like those.
Well, I know that they do that for some of the actors. So you can get them for you could have got them for Gotchard, for example. So I'm sure they'll have them for this as well. Or I wouldn't be surprised to find out in Japan there's like some like you get to be turned into the food of the series monsters.
And there might be like a limited run release with actually, fruit by the foot or gummy candy wrapped around it. They do some interesting stuff.
Yep. So, and just to kind of bring you up on it, basically our monsters of the show are like going around and collecting humans as food, as sort of like a dark snack.
Yeah.
And so our heroes got to stop them.
Yeah.
I like how the villain plays into the same sort of trope that the writer's playing into. Like, this takes the idea of food wars to a whole new level.
True, yeah.
It does.
Snacks versus souls.
And then the reaction of the monks of the enemy seeing the red Gavv and everything. He's like, "What the hell is that?"
Yeah, I guess I am a little surprised with them because there is that little hint of like the body horror to it, as like we've got a guy walking around with like this big giant monster mouth on his stomach, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go and pick up all the," and they made a physical prop of it too.
Oh, okay.
As he's like, "I'm gonna numb this little child up and turn him into like a little soul candy."
Okay.
I must admit the prosthetics and everything and all the CGI, it worked really, really well. The props actually, and they did their job, and it really worked here. Hilarious at the same time, and it's like, holy crap! How long has he been hiding that thing? When you first see it, you're like, wait, what? And then you realize. Yeah, but then you already know, the other guy has one, but his is way more cooler. His, however, is more terrifying, and I would be like, "Are you okay there, sir?"
Well, not that they've shown up yet, but we've seen a little bit. So the other thing to kind of show you guys real quick as well is we have our sort of big villains of the series available, and we've got some like looks at them, and they're basically just dudes with like a mask on. So it's kind of beckoning back to the sort of Showa era where it was pretty simplistic like that, and I kind of dig it because they're in a lot of ways it does feel familiar to that, where the writer himself has kind of been turned into a monster by basically our evil force, which in that case was Shocker, but here it's just who they are, and it's got a little bit of that like MC like or not MC Escher. What was it? MC Escher?
Cronenberg?
The body horror of like
Cronenberg.
Alien. Yes, Cronenberg. Thank you.
Yeah, you're right, Iron Cast, and the fact that it's them like this, it's simple yet effective because it drives home that this is the enemy right here. These are the bad guys right here. These are the people you need to look out for. They're not
And they want to eat you.
and they do want to eat you. Yes, they want to eat you. But don't have to go. They don't have to go all goofy and everything. But because they want to be taken a bit more seriously, and this is how you do it. It's simple but effective, though.
Well, I'm going to counterpoint that and say that it's the suspension of disbelief because it's silly and it's absurd because you look at it and you're like, if you just saw these people walking around in real life, you'd be like, okay, neat cosplay. But when it comes to like the body horror, the grotesque, the dark themes of this show, all of a sudden you have this sort of suspension of disbelief. You know that it's absurd, you know that it's silly, but in the confines of this thing, it tells a story and everybody takes it seriously in the story. So it's the same thing with like cartoons, puppets, like this surrealness that allows you to explore ideas that if it was just too realistic, it would become such more of a higher rated, disgusting, morbid curiosity sort of event.
These guys eating people. It'd be
Right.
Hellraiser. It'd be Texas Chainsaw, but
Right, but like
now they're monsters eating people, so it's okay.
Would it help you if I told you?
Is awesome.
Would it help you if I told you that they're called the Stomach Family?
Of course they are.
That's awesome.
But on their world, stomach probably means something completely different.
Hey, probably. So yeah, all in all, I gotta say I was a little more surprised by this one than I was expecting. While it's not off to the roaring start that I felt with Kamen Rider Geats for coming out the gate. This one is certainly a lot better than all of Gotchard was for me.
Yeah, it doesn't have that, it didn't have that chill you get, when you see the first henshin, so we'll see. Yeah, the henshin is kind of silly. I get it, since he's eating the gummies. But
I like the little cat, and they're like more like puma tiger.
Yeah,
like
I think
a
we see
fierce
them.
cat.
I think we see them either next week or the week after. They're the twins.
Yeah, but
We gotta have twins.
you gotta have cat girls or something.
Seems to be a running theme lately.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. There was an article over on. Let me refresh the site on like Tokusatsu Network that kind of gave a little summary of it, and let me show these two. Theta and Jeep stomach.
Yeah.
They're mischievous telepathic twins and the youngest of the stomach family.
Oh, great! They're twins. So now you're gonna have a problem. Who is who?
Well,
they got the mirror
over there.
image.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the only thing we got worried about is them summoning Mothra.
I could see that actually. They appear in Godzilla, and it's like Mothra, come before you. We the evil twins.
But the question I have about especially Jeep stomach is it leather interior? Is it vinyl lining? I mean, come on.
Yeah, she's a Jeep. Yeah.
Oh, good one.
Slow burn.
Yeah. So, like I said, so it's just kind of going down it. This is kind of a little summary of them all, and we have with sort of the modern Kamen Rider, the almost the obligatory female companion that I wouldn't be surprised to find out doesn't become a Kamen Rider at some point in the show.
Oh.
The initial thoughts is maybe she doesn't actually.
I mean, I only say that because for almost all of Reiwa, it seems like they've gone that way with it. Which, again, I don't have a problem with it, but it has something I have noticed as of late.
That the girl mid-season becomes a writer, or was always a writer and just now goes, oh, by the way, I have one too.
Rango
stomach.
Wait, isn't Rango that movie with Johnny Depp as the lizard sheriff?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a great movie, by the way, guys. Yeah. He looks pretty normal. Nothing weird about him.
No.
I think his gaze is only burning a hole through my monitor.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like.
Yeah, I could see smoke coming out of mine.
Yeah,
So,
he's definitely got he's definitely got the Magnum going.
I think his spleen is upset.
Galata stomach, the oldest sister in charge of manufacturing sweets. So again, they'll be collect the humans, turn them into candy, and nom nom.
Yeah.
If you take out the G and switch the A, it would say a lot of stomach.
I mean,
that was
given,
probably intentional.
Yeah.
I mean, that given. Japanese, they seem to like doing that sort of thing with the naming conventions.
Oh, yeah.
She looks relatively normal.
Yeah.
Twins are the only one that look kind of weird.
Currently.
Well, wait, are we just going to ignore how weird Rango is?
Yeah, he's definitely. I mean, he's got the male model stare. He's
like the one of the Umbrella Academy, amalgamation of the. Well, okay, pretty much all of them were kind of the step sibling that nobody wanted to talk about. So,
also, let's stop and I gotta call them out. I gotta call out Kamen Rider Gotchard on this description of him: menacing and charismatic.
Yeah, you can be menacing and charismatic,
Yeah,
but can he?
He's definitely trying. Let's see him moving. Whoever took this picture didn't do him any justice.
This is just a still. This isn't him in action.
Yeah, let's see him in action.
Yeah,
see him he makes throw up, right?
Yeah, I'm assuming. Just to go back to my other picture here. I'm assuming he's this Goomba looking dude over here.
Yeah, probably because there's the twins.
Yeah,
that's the older sister probably. So that's probably him there. This is
yeah.
Actually, come to think of it, they've kind of got the face for it down pat. So maybe I take that back.
Got a face for radio? What?
Yeah. No, he's trying to do supermodel.
Mm-hmm.
I got this one, Blue Magnum.
Yeah, he's trying to do Blue Magnum. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah. Merman, Dad. Merman. Yeah. He's channeling.
I'm sorry. Do you mean Magnum or Blue Steel? They all look the same.
One look. I
invented the piano key necktie. You've done nothing. Nothing.
I think I got the wrong.
Yeah, let's. I'm gonna give Ringo the benefit of the doubt.
I do. I look forward to seeing him come in because,
which
I want
are going to turn on
this guy in action.
Become a writer.
He's the stomach ringer.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is he going to be the one that turns on the family and goes good mid-season, or is it going to be one of the twins? Because we got to have one of the bad guys come go.
I mean, I appreciate you riffing on that whole thing, and I don't disagree.
Of course, I like the look of this dude. Nerve stomach. Cold and scheming. Nerve is the second oldest brother of the Stomach family who oversees the group's technological developments.
Always got to have the glasses guy.
Mm-hmm. He's the one is going to betray the organization. He's the one I think who would swap sides.
Probably, yeah.
And I hate to say this, but now I want to go back and look through the pictures and see, all right, who's the nervous pooper? Who's the anxious pooper? Okay.
Well, do we have to? He doesn't poop.
Exactly.
He just doesn't poop.
He holds
Everybody
it all in.
poops. Oh, you see, the book is entitled "Everybody Poops," but in parentheses, except Rango.
Except Rango.
He just gets angry. He might bust a grumpy once in a while, but he never. I'm sorry, I have derailed this entirely. Let's not be
That's
12-year-old
okay.
boys.
And then here's your twins,
who I think we're meeting first.
probably. The theme song is called "Got Boost," performed by Fantastics from the Exile group. I don't know anything about them, but hey, that's who's doing the theme song.
Theme song didn't do anything for me.
Yeah, I kind of would have liked to have seen the actual video itself, but we'll get that next week.
Yeah.
Then we got our suit actors. Yuya Nawada served as the main suit actor for 01 and Revi.
Ooh.
Oh, jeez. Someone brought a dog over.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Doggy.
Oh, we have cats, so apparently this. Everybody poops. The rim cover.
Sometimes.
And just a little more details about it. But all in all, I just kind of reframed my original point. It's a little bit of a better show than I was expecting so far. I've got to add like a C plus. I'd say it's probably a B grade right now.
Yeah.
I want to see where it goes more, but
I think if we, following the trend, the most cute, colorful, bizarre, why did they pick that for a theme? Runs have always been the ones that end up being the most deep, meaningful, and dark ones. So that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that we start out really goofy and bright, but then we get to that same thing like with, in Game, when everybody's like, oh, it's fruit. This is going to be stupid. And then it turns out this whole big samurai human condition arc, right? And then, X-Day, it's video games. It's going to be stupid. And then it's like, oh, no, this is all dark and epic and what?
So we're gonna throw up on the beach here for now, and we'll keep it there.
Yeah, I would say B for now.
So I'm not necessarily planning to, keep doing this every single week for the week-to-week update, but I at least wanted to bring you guys on and talk about the first episode since. Hey, because it's like an opportunity to nerd out about it and possibly get someone new, bring someone new to find a new series to check out, and possibly come check out some more of it. So,
thanks to the people who do do all the work of translating it and bringing it available to us here. Yeah. So.
Like, I'm willing to pay for it and have it and get it. I want to support it, but they need to get it out to me like soon, because like if I can get anime like same day translated, why can't we get some Kamen Rider?
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
This was a fun episode, Ironcaster. I enjoyed the show, and I'm excited to see what the second episode will be.
Yep. Well, I mean, and the nice thing is now, so just to kind of bring you up to speed, make sure that you're aware of it. These shows tend to go for about 50 episodes a year. There's about 2 weeks where there won't be an episode. But it means that, now there's one more reason to look forward to, like, the weekend, to kind of have have one more positive thing to watch during the week, and not just complain about the Rings of Power like everyone in the month is going to do.
There's people.
I've been focusing on the Croc remaster, the Gundam Breaker 4 stream I just fired up and everything. I've been delving into more of the positive, because we gotta counteract the negative. We could sit here and talk about all the negative we want. Yeah, it'll generate a lot of views and all that, but at the same time, you gotta counteract it with the positive. Let's get something positive out there for people to look forward to. That
Bingo.
way it's not all doom and gloom. It's like, okay, this sucks that this happened, but I'm very excited for this remaster though by the original team of that franchise. So
Yeah.
that's something to look forward to. And it's coming out this year. So that's even more excitement and something to add to the list of the games coming up to your purchasing basket. Whichever it may be.
So Punkwaddle, I know you said you didn't get a chance to watch this, but does it have your interest enough to want to go check it out from the little bit we've talked about it?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the physical props, all the stuff, the play on the candy, he's got the stomach thing, they've got the stomach thing. There's a lot of, I think, as over the top and silly and cheesy as they are, there's more social critiques and more stuff in there if you look for it. So,
Oh yeah, always. Yeah.
So, and that's one of the things that I know you, Ironcaster, have been preaching to me, not being in the choir of Kamen Rider yet, but every time you bring stuff, it's more and more like, yeah, I know I'm going to like it, but I still get so distracted by everything else. And I know I'm going to like it. It just takes the time to give it the energy and attention that it needs. And yeah.
I mean, work can be draining from the weekend, so it can be sometimes be tough to go watch this stuff. Just as an example, there, I haven't been able to watch the last couple of weeks of Super Sentai, and I am, and the thing is, I'm really enjoying the Boom Boonger.
Oh, Boom Booger! Oh my god, so good.
The thing is, that was another one of those shows where I wasn't like fully on board at first, but it quickly won me over because it's just like they're the transporter superheroes.
It's when the premise is so absurd, but the writing is on point. The understanding of their own subculture, the fans drawing on so many things that are very relatable. So the medium is kind of wacky, but once you get into it, it's much more relatable and understandable.
Yeah, Boom Boom Ranger works because it's just so simple. You know. And after the ridiculousness of Oga King and Don Brothers, of course, just to bring it back down as sort of a refresher. It's, kind of like with Go Busters. It's just very simple. Simple mech, simple power-ups, simple story. The Sixth Ranger is cooler than everybody else, as it always should be.
And again, I will pull up a visual reference of our Rangers. Where I think my favorite part is the way they find all the different ways to work the wheels into the fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, they got like little wheelies in their heels, and they'll use those to go super fast.
Oh, nice.
Where, someone falls down, so then they'll go and like overinflate the wheels on the back of their shoulders, and then they have a nice little air cushion to land on.
Yeah, the wheels are fun.
So they're just incorporating the trope in every way possible.
Yeah, the wheels. Yeah,
that's utilizing the theme. You see, I love that sort of just being clever with it.
Exactly. As silly, and now to most people, as silly of a concept as that is, it is pretty effective though. What you can do with a concept like that, like how can we make this work? And it looks like they know what they are doing with everything else, like the blowing up the wheels so they land safely. That is a very great idea, and I like it when they take time and take certain risk here and there. It's like, okay, let's try Ironcaster's idea of inflating the tire on the back so that way they can land safely, and it worked to a degree, as comical as it looked, but it was still awesome that they are at least trying some different ways to do it without like being repetitive and boring.
I'm going to say this because it's my word of the week. Kind of got spun down some thoughts and conversations this last week and stuff. But it's instead of saying something, this is what it is. It's a rudimentary function. It just gets from point A to point B. It's taking something, stripping down how the functionality, something basic. And these shows especially, they bring out the whimsy, this creative, this something that's just fun, lighthearted, silly. But when you think about the word whimsy, it's like and I'm not the first one to use it. I've heard people other talk about it, so this isn't all my words per se, but the idea that it's just this creative, fantastical, fun, just creative, inspiring place where you can continue to build on things and be silly and be like, and it's okay and it's fun instead of jaded or no, you can't do that because we're not allowed to do
totally
that.
Agree.
Like,
totally agree.
It breaks the mold, and it's an attitude of walking into things when you're going to create something. If you have this, the sky's the limit. We're not limited by what this is, but what we can make it into.
Totally.
You know?
Yeah. It's I totally agree. It's so simple. It's so easy to accept the rules of these universes.
Yeah.
You never feel like, oh, come on. You know, like I just did a video about I'm hate watching Fear of the Walking Dead, and almost every episode I'm going, no. But these, you never do that. You never feel that. You never feel that you accept the rules of Boom Boom Ranger, and it works.
And you don't see it coming, and you don't expect it, but you're like, okay, that works.
Yeah, okay. The tires stopped them from falling. Totally.
Well, and what it is they're kind of adding their own logic to the world, and they're playing with that. What can we do with these bits on the suit? Okay, they're wheels. What can we do with kind of tires? You got to play on that idea. Oh, we can basically have the character kind of cartwheel over to the side and basically roll like a tire. It's like, oh, that's clever. Let's do that.
Yes, totally. I'm loving it.
We can make different weapons. We can make different vehicles with like steam shovels and that, like the weapons for the guy. We can go with that. Yeah. Oh, it's perfect. We'll have a police car turning to guns.
Yes.
Gotta have the DACA.
In a way, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're bringing in trains. So,
I missed trains. So I think the last one I saw was after they introduced the fire trucks.
Yeah, the next arc is I think something to do with trains because they're bringing in Train Ranger, or at least Train Ranger Red.
Okay, because it must be like an anniversary for that. Like I think we're 10, 11 years or so.
Yeah, I think so.
Which I think was also like paired with Gaim.
Yeah.
I remember those two had a crossover episode.
Yeah. Train Ranger, or the Sentai we wish we didn't make.
Oh, was that one? Was that one just unpopular?
It started out really unpopular, but then I guess it got popular mid-season. But when they had the whole thing with them using the ladder from the one train to disengage themselves from the monster, and it looked like he had and then that just stuck with them for months. That meme went around everywhere, and they were like, what were you thinking? I mean, yeah, okay, a dick joke, it's funny, but no, it didn't work.
Yeah,
there's a great theme song, and the premise was great, and who doesn't love trains? So it'll be interesting to see how they incorporate it, because I knew they were going to bring in the other vehicle rangers. I knew it. The second they said this was a vehicle run, I was like, I bet we'll see.
You got
here just to show you guys, because you haven't seen this. I know exactly what you're talking about there with it, but
yeah, that scene, that was just, what were you thinking?
And
I can't say what I'm thinking.
Oh no, it's pretty obvious. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. There's no.
Oh no, mine is just expounding on what's there, and it feels terrible to say out loud.
This was an intentional dick joke.
The pounding is going to commence whether we like it or not. It's going to commence whether we watch it or not, and we're going to hear about it. So now would be the great time to just get it out of our systems and enjoy
well, no, it's just somebody went, hey, this is a good idea, and somebody else said, "You're right." And then that like a week later, they're like, "This was a really bad idea, Steve. You're gone." Yeah, but then I guess it got good mid-season when they introduced the black trains, and apparently that's why everybody says that mid-season it got really good with the dark train arc.
Okay, I might have to go check it out at some point, but I'm like 300 episodes deep into a One Piece watch through, so it's
Yeah, you might be busy for a couple of years.
Because this is one of like the 37 shows I've apparently agreed to do on YouTube, which is One Piece summaries.
Yeah, which is a lifetime of its own.
Yeah, which we would have been doing last week, but then I lost power.
Oh yeah, when did it finally get back on for you?
I'll go reach out to Brandon, but it might be next. It might be this week. Might be next week. I don't know. We'll have to.
When did your power actually get back on last week? How long were you
it got back on Thursday. Like I got home Thursday and everything was up and running, but I had to then go around and kind of start.
Oh yeah,
that was the day we were supposed to do the show, but I just got power back. I had to go work on trying to get my stuff all caught up. And
I'm not asking in relation to doing the video. I know it sucks being without power, and then you have to kind of reboot and get back into the groove again. So yeah. Anyway, go for it.
Yeah, but let's go ahead and I guess wrap up because we've hit our hour mark, and I do need to get to bed at some point here. So, so OG Mr. OGGM, on our way out, on our way out, I'd like to get you to I can't talk. I'm gonna do what I've been trying to do more of and push that positivity. So what is one thing that you've been pretty positive about or been watching that you're enjoying? And tell us where you can find you.
What have I watching that I'm enjoying on TV right now? Well, like I said, I'm hate watching Fear of the Walking Dead on Netflix to start my Halloween build. Dark Water is really good.
Not
starting all my Halloween, so I got all the Halloween films lined up for my annual viewing. So that'll be fun. Where you can find me on the OGGM Adventures here on YouTube, Monday through Saturday, every day, where I do the tabletop role-playing game news. You can also find my published product over on our good friend Grim Jim's Post-Mortem, host for my Seth's Gear and Ammo zine, or over on our good friends The Red Room, where my nominated for but didn't win award-winning Wretched Vigilantes is available. Marked down now. You can get all my Wretched Vigilantes books for $40 PDF, just in time for me to tell everybody that I've officially begun working on the rewrite of Wretched Vigilantes.
Bom, bom, bom.
So pick it up now because there'll be collector's editions. Yes.
Cool.
So, real quick, what can you tell us briefly about Wretched Vigilantes? Because not everyone who is here is quite knows a lot of like the RPG stuff beyond Dungeons and Dragons.
All right. Well, this was a challenge made to me by Miguel and Sylvia about 3 years ago. I've been saying I wanted to do superheroes with them. So Wretched Vigilantes is based on the Wretched system. For sure, familiar with the Wretched and Wretched Darkness, Wretched all flesh, Wretched Men, and the other stuff. So it's to do Iron Heroes, do Watchmen, do Punisher, that kind of low-level street heroes, all set around a theme of the theme is the town is going to shit. This imaginary town that we made up is going to shit, and it's late 80s, and of all the possible solutions that they could come up with for saving the town from going to shit, the solution they came up with was, let's experiment on a bunch of people and try and make superheroes and have them stop it. So it tells the tale of these generations of superheroes, and then things go very, very dark, where the superheroes decide to turn on the town and take it over. And then it's up to the previous generation of heroes to step up and try and save the city. And they're all, they're old, they're drunk, they, wounded. And so, yeah, that was the whole premise. And then I just kept writing it. Once it started, I wrote like 6 books in the series. So yeah, people seem to like it, I hope. So a couple months ago, he was like, yeah, you need to do a new one. So hopefully it should be ready in time to go by sometime in January. We'll see. And then I'm still doing stuff with Jim, and whoever else wants to work with me, I am a shill. I will work with you. Remember, I will sell out.
So you've said on many an occasion, and of course, guys, you can find him up on YouTube here, where he is every day, Monday through Friday, to give you all the news from the tabletop role playing game scene. So you can find out what is Wizards of the Coast done this week. You can find out what is going on.
Yep, join me every Wednesday for Wizards of the Coast Wednesdays.
Right. But as fun as it is to poo on them, we gotta keep looking forward to the fun stuff. And I will say real quick, just one RPG I recommend checking out, folks out there. Fabula Ultima. I might be running it this week over on the Discord. So guys, I believe DJ Ronnie G, you might have dropped that for me. I appreciate that very much. Any last thoughts? That pregnant pause. Anime Night, what's going on with you, buddy?
Well, I finally achieved my goal after so long. Everybody, thank you. Thank you. This meant a lot. I made this myself, by the way, but thank you for 400 subscribers. We smashed it right at the end of last month. It was the 29th of August that we hit the goal. I'll take that down now. I have a lot going on. I was in tears that night. Like I accidentally had some drop on the keyboard. Thank God it didn't short circuit and cause a big kablooey. And so now we're pushing for 500, and then that dreaded 3K watch hours. I am planning to go, I'm gonna have somebody with me, and we're gonna sit through and comb over 600 videos to find out what I can easily part with that would match within the monetization policies and everything. Once we hit that, and then once I apply, it'll be straight shooting. I just started Gundam Breaker 4, which was very successful last night. First time playing it, I had a lot of fun. Ace Attorney is tomorrow night, but also my word of positivity is good things can happen to people when you have the right people backing you and showing the support, because it makes all the difference in the world, and people are there for you. And believe me, I learned that lesson so many times, and that goal and getting over 400 really showed it. And now there's no more room for doubt now.
Congratulations, by the way. And you're right. The next goal is 500. Just keep that momentum up. Keep that positivity going. Keep going at it. I do want to show you real quick. I did play a little bit, and let me show you a. Where's this photo at? Yeah, we'll go with this. Actually, there we go. No, I'll just pull it up this way. Because I want to show you guys a picture I took from playing the other night. I want to show you my Gundam I built, and maybe you guys can give me some feedback on this. See me down here? Yeah, I think I look pretty good.
Yeah, you look really good.
Yeah, it looks fine.
Good grief! What is with the other one? Holy crap!
Wait, what are you talking about? The green guy?
No, not the green guy. The other guy behind you with the giant.
Oh, Lynn? That's an NPC.
No, not Lynn. The
Oh,
that is
mildly, I didn't see that.
That is mildly distracting, but I like I see yours and I do like it. I like the building mechanic though. I'm glad we got that finally, and seeing Riser again and everybody, it was fun. I cannot wait to get
awesome one. No, I don't know what you're talking about. No, that wasn't me. No, I'm that little guy.
No, he's
Is this where we say size doesn't matter? I'm a very tiny penguin, so like, you know. Oh, put me on the spot. Yes. Yes, I have a 17-inch tall penguin in my puppet form, and that is with the mohawk, so I'm not compensating for anything. But also, you can catch me hanging out with puppets like Floral Under the Rock and Snowdub and the Cotton Council guys, and hanging out with right here and with Snacks tomorrow night and this little build. And you know, I have my own channel, and I ponder, and I have my little puppet sheriff announcements, my PSAs, and my chill ice house, you know, little chats, and try to keep things positive. I try to keep things, I don't know, help. I'm always pondering, so I figure if that's helpful for other people to ponder, it's more fun that way. And I still need to. I did get Gundam Breaker 4, but I need to actually put it on the PlayStation. I was gonna do that today, but I misplaced it when I got home, and then I was like, I'm just gonna play Borderlands for a minute and get the haptic controls to where I like them, and you know, work on that. So we're getting there, and I'm still trying to adjust to the PlayStation controller because I don't like it. I'm a Switch and Xbox guy, so I'm really gonna try to work on it.
What's one show you've been watching as of late that, or something that, you know, that extra little positivity for you?
As far as, well, let's see, for the anime stuff, I still do like Why Does Nobody Remember Me in This World? It's a fun little, it's an interesting sort of thing, and you're kind of, as you go through the story, you wonder what got rewritten in the world and what roles people have, and is history repeating itself. It's just a fun, like, not too complicated, but it's a fun little thing. I really liked the games we play, or the Gods games we played last season. It's probably one of my favorites. Really fun and positive, and just fun problem solving shows. So yeah.
Well, tell you what. Well, let's be. Oh, there we go. Let's just be glad let's just be glad we're not trying to play Dustborn or Concord.
Yeah,
God,
I feel for Dash, who's been playing through Dustborn, but no, you couldn't pay me. Well, maybe you could pay me, guys. If you want to send me some donations, I will be happy to suffer through this game.
I don't think they'll be that happy unless they pay you like enough.
Oh, he didn't like the thought of that. Well, I guess in kind of wrapping up, for my little bit of positivity, of course I'm watching One Piece, but I'm also going to recommend people go watch Stargate SG-1.
Oh, nice.
And also, so tomorrow you can find me over with Pops and Stone Loki for Talk Harbor. This week we are going back to school with the Rodney Dangerfield Classic.
Nice. Can't get no respect around here.
You've been over there a time or two, OG.
Yeah. Anytime you want me on again, I will gladly pontificate about movies. It's one of the few things I know.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Let me see what's coming up.
I'll be at work tomorrow, so I won't be able to join you guys. But if you see Pop's Ironcast, tell him I said hello and thank you again. My stuff has been improving. Like the descriptions are better and the tags and everything. Thank God. I was so exhausted from writing the tags and everything. I'm like, there has got to be a better way for this. And finally, lo and behold, here comes Pops with this brilliant idea. I'm just like, thank you.
Yeah, who knows what the secret is, man. But if Pops has some insight, he is the man to listen to, I guess.
Dialing home, buddy. But let's go ahead and get out of here, guys. I don't know. I did get some other clips, but SG1. Let's see. Let's show some equality off. So, good night, folks. Take care.
Adios.
Leaders.